Hello there, tubers, and welcome to the State of Joe. I'm Joe Santiago. The new world the Bible mentions could just be referring not to a physical world, but a world in which there are new norms, laws, and things that people will accept as the new everyday life and the reality and the way things are. I mean, the lies are now the truth. Up is down, down is up. Left is right, and right is left. The things that were the subject of countless science fiction novels is now manifesting and taking place. In this age of self identifying, where a girl can be a guy can be a girl, and empty hashtags of promises to care are everywhere you look. Everything we thought we knew is doing a complete 180. When our president runs away to a bunker and avoids addressing his people and shuts off the lights of the White House like a comic strip come to life and pretends he's not there, this is definitely bizarro world, people. We have been primed for this chaos that we are currently seeing in the world through the media, Hollywood, books, the internet, and other predictive programming methods. It goes back to dark demons and skeletons cooped up in closets around America, with its blatantly racist past, with slavery and the history and present treatment of other minorities as well. These issues fester more when we are locked down and told what we can and can't do by the almighty puppet masters, of course, who of course know what's best for us. Not having straight talk about American slavery and then segregation and the civil rights struggles in the 50s and 60s, when Martin Luther King's 5-day march on March 25th, 1965, and all that he did, even the Old Testament and the Bible continually talks of the master-slave relationship, if you will. We still, to this day, can't have an honest discussion about race relations in this country. The lack of healing to take place from these travesties that have haunted us, such as our police brutality enabling problem, where fellow officers allow it to keep taking place without stepping in and stopping it, with very poor standards of codes of conduct, and some of the law enforcement, mind you, overshadowing and making all the thankless officers that are doing a great job look bad. And let's not forget Amy Klobuchar, which was going to be former Vice President Biden's running mate. Well, she was chief prosecutor in Minnesota, okay? She let the officer who killed George Floyd, the main officer there that did it, Derek Chauvin, he was let off 10 times by her, one including a shooting in 2006 of a black man, Wayne Rees, okay? And he kept being let off and let off. They let these dysfunctional officers get back into work, and they don't punish them. They could go unpunished. And also, she was chief prosecutor during more than 24 other shootings of civilians by officers, and they went unpunished, okay, during her service as chief prosecutor in Minneapolis, Minnesota, okay? I mean, this is crazy. And 9/11 also was never really dealt with either. And all the profiling and suspicion and surveillance laws that were established, okay? That's all lumped into this whole thing that's getting ready to, it's just a boiling pot, just starting to explode, basically. Along with countless government psyops and experiments carried out on its own people over the years, and it is now at the boiling point and frothing over, okay? Make no mistake, this president is the right man for the right time. God has put a harsh, brazen, stubborn, pig-headed man in power that knows only getting his way with a privileged life like most politicians. The thing is, he has what the Bible calls countenance or emotion or demeanor to allow all this craziness and uncertainty to happen. You see, with his strange mood swings and unpredictable personality. If it was someone else in office, a lot of this stuff wouldn't be flying because he has a weird personality which allows this stuff to take place. He's in a position at the right time where humans are going through these problems, and he is it's all taking place, okay? And his decision making, it works in this volatile situation we're in, and we find ourselves in. Basically, everything is hold your breath and wait and see what happens. As if he has no control or influence on any situation. He constantly says wait and see in just about every interview. If you watch his interviews, that's his go-to phrase. And really, this pandemonium has been through his whole tenure as president, and it started getting real bad leading up to his election in 2016. And things just keep getting more extreme and worse as time goes on. And this all totally makes sense, too, with the Mayan calendar in 2012 talking about the end of the age and a step towards a different or a new world for man, which lines up with what the Bible prophecy says also. And we have seen the increased earthquakes and storms and the great amounts of mass animals dying off. And let's not forget, at the campus of CERN in Geneva at the Franco-Swiss border on July 4th, 2012, which is America's birthday, mind you, they discovered the Higgs boson particle, named after the physicist Peter Higgs, who predicted the particle in 1964 with 5 other scientists, otherwise known as the God particle. They think 13.8 billion years ago, when the energy was high enough to have particles collide the way they did before the Big Bang, which lines up with basically the Big Bang is equivalent to the Bible creation story. They're basically the same events, explained in different ways. Have these particles collide in order to create things in the Big Bang. The energy level on the Earth at the time was powerful enough to do this stuff. But now they create today with the extreme energy of the record-breaking colliding levels that we can access now with the 27 kilometer or 88,582.7 foot Large Hadron Collider, the particle accelerator or particle smasher. That's it's 50 to 175 meters, or 164 to 574 feet below the ground, mind you, complete with a statue of the third god in the Hindu triumvirate. And the triumvirate is the equivalent of the Christian Trinity. The triumvirate, this Trinity of gods, are responsible for the creation and destruction of the world, okay? The other two gods in the Hindu Trinity are Brahma and Vishnu. But Shiva's role as the destroyer is to destroy the universe in order to recreate it. And this is the statue in front of CERN, their proud statue that they put in front of CERN, to show what their goals are and whatnot. Okay, to open wormholes, different dimensions, to bring things in from other dimensions, maybe different parallel universes. There's all kinds of stuff. They're experimenting with parallel universes now. It was admitted, and it's happening. The Department of Defense is doing it. CERN is doing it. A lot of people are doing it. Okay. So CERN is able to have the power of what's found inside a neutron, basically inside a neutron star. Okay. And a neutron star, basically, which are the compacted remains of massive stars that have burnt out. The closest neutron star they know of is 500 light years away. And that's the closest real one, but they can simulate what's in a neutron star, okay? And they do all this, and all this power is taking place underneath Mother Earth, okay? Okay. Now, I'm not a scientist by any stretch of the imagination, but trust me, the effects of these explosions and collisions under the Earth can't be good, okay? So it's not good, and that's just the way it is. So we're at a situation, a point in human history where we are now back to the cycle of fighting with each other, getting all irritated with the lockdown, and being told what to do. We're rising up for different reasons, and we're fighting with each other. We're killing each other. We're eating each other alive. And this paranoia from COVID-19, and we still don't know the whole story. You got the asymptomatic people. Maybe there's a lot more of those than we think, and this is something that's been in our DNA, and we just don't know. And that would explain why a lot of people aren't dying. A lot of people aren't. There's a lot to do with our DNA. We don't understand. People could be using this in different nefarious ways. Okay. We need to stop killing each other. We need to come together and do what the Bible says. Just love one another. We are divine creatures. We're better than this. This is like caveman days here. This is like the Colosseum and Roman times, where people are killing each other, and we are just loving it. We're watching the internet videos, all the killings and all the violence and all the evil things we do to each other. It's getting into our head. It's causing us to basically just driving us crazy. And you got shows and movies, books, and all that, and different things that are just really messing with our psyche. And we got to resist it. And, this is not us. We are not beings that are supposed to be doing this. This is bad. This is very bad. Um, you know, um, it's very bad. We're starting to go up into space. We have the Space Force, like the Bible says. There'll be a new heaven and a new earth. Well, the new heaven is going to be a new heaven where that's where the wars are going to take place. Wars in heaven, where you'll have they're putting all these satellites up there now. The whole heaven is going to be populated with satellites and different machinery, things on the moon, space stations on the moon with different countries' space stations. Russia has its own space force. China keeps saying they don't have like a space force, yet they have like over 100. It's just tons of satellites and different things in space right now. They basically have a space force up there, and they're just not calling it that right now. But you got America, China, Russia. There's different countries that have their own. There's other countries too that are getting involved, and it's going to be a war in space. Which what goes up must come down. And like the Bible says, everything on earth, so it is in heaven. So it is in heaven. It's the same on earth. So when there's pandemonium and chaos going on up there, there's going to be pandemonium and chaos down here, and it all lines up. All these alignments, these moon phases, these planetary bodies and movements, and different alignments all predict. Like if you look at the political laws that are signed into law, they happen on days when certain things happen in space. We're seeing more asteroids. We're seeing more satellites. Because our electrical, our grid, which protects us, the great architect God has designed an electrical grid outside of the earth to protect it from incoming things, okay? Well, that in the last couple centuries at least has gone down by 10%. It keeps going down. And it's not going to protect us anymore. Things are going to come flying in. They're coming flying in now. There was one in Australia maybe a month ago or so. There was maybe a little over a month ago in Africa. There's different ones that are taking place, okay? And we're going to be open for all this. And the more we mess with 5G and all these, the power we possess with these devices and all the setups and the internet of things and everything we want to do is going to draw power from the grid that's protecting the earth and the electrical grid and the electrical power that's within the earth also that affects earthquakes and tectonic plates moving and different things. We're doing all these experiments with CERN and particle colliders and different things. We're going to affect these things, and we're going to see the increased earthquakes. See, we're going to cause all this ourselves. That's the part God left out. He tells you the effect of what's going to happen. He does not tell you the cause. And the cause is right here, the human brain, because we are advanced divine creatures, okay? We are powerful beings that possess inquisitive minds that will go to the ends of the earth, the four corners of the earth, as the Bible says, to find out all this stuff. And we are finding out. Our phones and different things, we're going to that for the answers. They're going to become our new gods. If I don't know something, I just look it up on my smartphone and I research it. I look it up. I see what it says. It's telling me all the information. It's basically my God. And like some people are saying, Facebook is the new Bible of today. Okay. Well, Facebook, all the tragedies. Well, this is what happened to me. I was in a tornado. I was in a severe hurricane. I had a earthquake. All these things, bad things in the Bible. Somebody killed somebody. Somebody killed their kids. This is all in the Bible too. Like mother against father, and father against mother, son against father, and daughter against father, and everybody's going to be fighting each other. And like it says, it'll be like in the times of Noah. Well, in the times of Noah, he was building the ark, and they were partying and having fun and not thinking anything of it, and making fun of Noah while he was building this ark for a long time. And then finally the rains came, and while they were partying in their pagan rituals and their pagan orgies and whatnot, they saw the rains coming and it didn't stop. And then they realized, wow, this is really happening. Well, it said in the Bible, at that time of Noah, before the flood, God did that because everybody in the world had it says it as they all knew evil continually in their hearts. So we're getting to that point where we're all evil continually in our hearts, and it's time to abolish it. It's time to turn it around and start acting like respectable humans, and not these monsters and these demons, these evil people. We got to stop it, guys. And so that's my message for today. Thank you for listening. I have some corrections to get to. I'm not gonna do them today. I'm gonna leave it at that, but I'll get to them at some point. But thank you for listening, and just help each other out here to get through this. Give a positive word or helping hand when you can. We gotta bring this country back together in this world and get out of this rut we're in. And so let's do it. And thanks for everything, and appreciate it. And as always, keep the faith, and peace out.